Imagine walking into a dealership tomorrow and seeing a brand new SUV with modern technology, a comfortable interior, and a price tag of just $15,000. For most Americans, that sounds impossible, not because SUVs are impossible to build, but because we've been taught they have to be expensive. Today, the average new SUV in America costs well over $40,000. Some popular models easily climb past $50,000 before you even add a few options. Yet on the other side of the world, millions of people are buying SUVs for less than half that price. So here's the question that almost nobody is asking. Did America lose the ability to build affordable SUVs, or did it simply stop trying? Because the answer isn't just about cars. It's about the way America builds, sells, and profits from almost everything. And surprisingly, China isn't the real beginning of this story. The impossible question. For more than a century, America was the country that taught the world how to build automobiles. Henry Ford transformed manufacturing forever. Detroit became the industrial capital of the planet. American factories produced millions of vehicles every year, faster than anyone thought possible. This was the nation that put the world on wheels. So how did the same country reach a point where an affordable family SUV suddenly feels impossible? The strange part is that almost every other product has followed the opposite path. Think about your television. 20 years ago, a large flat-screen TV was considered a luxury. Today, it costs a fraction of what it once did. Computers became smaller, faster, and cheaper. Smartphones became more powerful every year while offering dramatically more value. Even complicated manufacturing industries found ways to reduce costs through technology. But cars, especially SUVs, seem to have escaped that trend completely. Every new generation becomes larger, more complicated, more expensive, and somehow more normal. Most people simply accept it. Almost nobody stops to ask why. Because if technology keeps making everything cheaper, why hasn't it made America's most popular vehicles more affordable? That question leads us into one of the biggest mysteries in the modern auto industry. And the first answer almost everyone gives turns out to be wrong. The first answer everyone gets wrong. Ask almost anyone why American vehicles cost so much, and you'll probably hear the same explanation. It's because American workers earn higher wages. At first, that sounds completely reasonable. Factory workers in the United States generally earn far more than workers in many developing countries. Higher wages must mean higher vehicle prices, right? Not exactly. Labor is certainly part of the equation. But here's what most people never realize. The people assembling a vehicle represent only one piece of an incredibly complex production system. By the time an SUV reaches a dealership, thousands of companies have already contributed to its creation. Steel suppliers, glass manufacturers, electronics companies, battery producers, software developers, shipping companies, parts manufacturers, marketing teams, dealership networks, financial institutions, insurance providers. The assembly plant is only the final chapter of a much longer story. In fact, direct assembly labor represents a surprisingly small percentage of the final price of a modern vehicle, which creates an uncomfortable question. If American factory workers suddenly agreed to work for free, would that magically create a $15,000 SUV? Of course not. The price would drop, but nowhere near enough. So labor isn't the complete answer. And if labor isn't the reason, what is? Many people immediately point to another explanation. China. After all, China has become the world's largest automobile producer. Its factories are enormous. Its supply chains move at incredible speed. Its companies somehow build vehicles that seem years ahead while selling them at prices that look almost impossible. Surely, That's the real reason. Except, that explanation isn't complete either, because China's biggest advantage has very little to do with what most people imagine. China isn't the whole story. When people compare American SUVs with Chinese ones, they often focus on the final product, the price, the touchscreen, the battery, the technology. But that's looking at the last page of the story instead of the first. The real difference begins long before a vehicle ever reaches the assembly line. Imagine trying to bake a cake. One baker has every ingredient sitting on the kitchen counter. The other has to drive across town to buy flour, eggs, sugar, butter, and milk from 10 different stores. Even if both bakers are equally talented, one will finish faster and probably spend less. Modern vehicles work the same way. Building a car isn't just about assembling parts. It's about how quickly those parts arrive, how far they travel, how many companies touch them, and how efficiently thousands of suppliers work together. Over the last 2 decades, China invested heavily in building entire manufacturing ecosystems. Instead of spreading suppliers across multiple countries, many of them ended up operating within the same industrial regions. Battery manufacturers, electric motor suppliers, semiconductor companies, steel producers, glass manufacturers, software developers, sometimes located just a few miles apart. That dramatically reduces transportation costs, delivery times, inventory expenses, and production delays. It's not one miracle factory, it's an entire ecosystem designed to move faster. But here's the twist. Even if America copied that system tomorrow, it still wouldn't automatically create a $15,000 SUV, because something much bigger changed, not inside the factory, but inside the market itself. America didn't stop building cheap SUVs. People stopped buying them. This might be the most uncomfortable part of the entire story. For years, Americans have said they want affordable vehicles, lower monthly payments, lower insurance costs, better fuel economy, lower repair bills. But when it comes time to buy, something very different happens. Walk through almost any dealership in America today. What do you see? Rows of SUVs, large pickup trucks, luxury trims, premium packages, bigger wheels, panoramic sunroofs, leather interiors, massive touchscreens. The market didn't accidentally end up this way. It evolved because consumers kept rewarding it. Every year, buyers chose larger vehicles. Manufacturers noticed, dealers noticed, investors noticed. Eventually, affordable compact cars began disappearing one by one. Ford ended production of nearly every traditional passenger car in America. General Motors shifted heavily toward trucks and SUVs. Even brands once known for affordable transportation started focusing on higher-margin vehicles, because every time a customer upgraded, the profits grew, and once that cycle began, it became incredibly difficult to reverse. Here's something many people never think about. If 2 vehicles cost nearly the same amount to build, but one sells for $28,000 and the other sells for $48,000, which one would any business choose? The answer seems obvious, especially to shareholders. This wasn't simply an engineering decision. It was a business decision. And business has a habit of following profit. Not nostalgia, not tradition, not even affordability. But there was one problem, a huge one. Eventually, someone else figured out how to build vehicles for customers that America slowly stopped serving. The customers Detroit left behind. Not everyone wants a luxury SUV. Not everyone needs 3 rows of seating. Not everyone wants giant wheels or 20 different driving modes. For millions of people, a vehicle is simply transportation, reliable, practical, affordable, nothing more. For years, that market quietly became smaller in America, not because those customers disappeared, but because they had fewer choices. Meanwhile, manufacturers in other parts of the world saw something different. Instead of asking, "How can we build a better luxury SUV?" they asked, "How can we build a good enough SUV for millions of families?" That's a completely different question, and it leads to completely different products: simple interiors, smaller batteries, fewer premium features, lower manufacturing costs, more standardized components, vehicles designed around value instead of maximum profit. Ironically, these vehicles often include technology that American buyers associate with expensive models: large displays, digital dashboards, advanced software, connected services, not because they're luxurious, but because modern electronics have become relatively inexpensive compared to many mechanical components, which creates another surprising contradiction. Some of the features Americans think make a vehicle premium are no longer the expensive part. So if technology isn't driving prices as much as people think, then what is? To answer that, we need to follow the money, because that's where this story changes completely. Follow the money. Every industry follows one simple rule: follow the money. And once you do, the mystery surrounding America's affordable SUV suddenly becomes much easier to understand. Think about what happens after someone buys a new vehicle. The manufacturer earns revenue, the dealership earns revenue, the lender earns revenue, the insurance company earns revenue, the service department earns revenue, the parts suppliers earn revenue. One vehicle creates an entire ecosystem of profits. Now imagine two different SUVs. The first sells for $15,000. The second sells for $45,000. Neither one requires 3 times as many workers. Neither one uses 3 times as much steel. Neither one takes 3 times longer to build. But one generates significantly more profit, not just from the sale itself, but from financing, extended warranties, maintenance, replacement parts, accessories, higher insurance premiums, and years of dealership service. Suddenly the question changes. It isn't, can America build a $15,000 SUV? Of course it can. American engineers are among the best in the world. American factories are capable of extraordinary things. American companies know exactly how to design affordable vehicles. The real question is, would building one make enough business sense? Because in today's market, selling one expensive SUV often generates more profit than selling several affordable ones. That's not a manufacturing problem, it's a business model. And once an entire industry is built around that model, changing direction becomes incredibly difficult. The system changed. It's easy to blame one company, one country, or one government policy. Reality is rarely that simple. This story wasn't created by a single decision. It was built over decades. Consumers wanted larger vehicles. Manufacturers followed demand. Dealers earned higher margins. Banks financed longer loans. Investors rewarded higher profits. Each decision made perfect sense on its own, but together, they slowly transformed the American auto industry into something very different from what it used to be. The affordable family vehicle didn't disappear overnight. It gradually stopped making financial sense. Meanwhile, other countries optimized for a different customer. Not the buyer searching for the biggest vehicle, but the buyer searching for the best value. Neither approach is completely right. Neither is completely wrong. They simply solve different problems. And that's why comparing a $15,000 Chinese SUV to a $45,000 American SUV isn't always an apples-to-apples comparison. They're products of two completely different systems. One optimized for affordability, the other optimized for profitability. The bigger question. Remember the question we asked at the very beginning? Did America forget how to build affordable SUVs? Or did it simply stop trying? By now, the answer looks very different. America didn't lose the ability. It changed its priorities. Over time, bigger became better, more features became expected, higher prices became normal, and affordable slowly became invisible. But history has a funny way of repeating itself. Every time vehicles become too expensive, someone eventually builds something simpler, something smaller, something more practical. We've seen it before, and we may be seeing it again. The next revolution in the auto industry might not come from building a better luxury SUV. It might come from building one that millions of ordinary people can finally afford, because sometimes the future doesn't belong to the company that builds the most expensive vehicle. It belongs to the one that solves the biggest problem. And today, for millions of families, that problem isn't horsepower, it isn't acceleration, it isn't even technology, it's affordability. So here's the question. If Ford, General Motors, Toyota, or any automaker introduced a reliable $15,000 SUV tomorrow, would you actually buy it? Or have we all become so accustomed to bigger, more expensive vehicles that affordable cars no longer feel like enough? Let us know what you think, because the answer to that question may shape the future of the entire auto industry.